Howdy, everybody. Brian here from quantlabs.net. Today or tonight, I'm talking about. Yesterday, I put out an email regarding the problem with algo trading. So I got quite a few responses. Thanks to everybody who responded. But this one's probably the most compelling, and just took out some of the blurbs out of this long email. Just thought I'd make it a little more poignant, if that makes sense. Anyways, number one response is this. In response, the only thing that's frustrating is I don't have enough time to get this bot up and running. I won't give up. It's not your fault. So if you have kids, full-time job, this is a big problem for a lot of people. Time and focus. They are putting a lot of energy into controlling their own future and destiny with this type of technology. But let's be real, it is a struggle. It can be a big challenge. So he was asking about some of the clues. Now, these are some of the hints I've been dropping over the last few weeks. My testing, the first one is, right now I am focusing only on the Ethereum market. With the only other trade with Binance is TRX or Tron against XRP or Ripple. That's the only thing I could trade. With my minimal testing, I've been trying out Ethereum are very cheap trades, $2 to $3 US on average. With the XRP one being about $3, but when you start moving to Bitcoin, it gets more expensive. If you haven't heard, that Bitcoin is already starting to take off for the last 6 weeks. So it's about $5-6 now per trade. So I just keep it real and just focus on the Ethereum market. Especially since it's cheaper and that's where the trades are. For my testing, about 90% of the trades that you can get that are fairly profitable is going to be in Ethereum. So there is that. So with this guy's course that he's taken, which I'll just show you right now, go to the world famous quantlabs.net website. In there is the store as it comes up. In the meantime, let me continue here. Oh, there's a store. Just go under the store here, and then there's three choices. Now, the course that we're talking about, what I'm talking about, is the current Python course. A lot of people have been going through that. They're learning a lot, bits and pieces, but one of the things I want you to take away if you ever choose to do this is to understand that you can develop a fairly quick and dirty trading system with everything you need to get you up and running, which is pretty quick. So it'll walk you through it. It's pretty cheap, and it shouldn't break the bank for you to go through. The other option is I've got over the last few months is this other service. If you find it challenging, is to take the quant analytics, which is really more geared towards traders that don't have the technical chops, to take this monthly. Right now I'm still testing out the bot. There's been a lot of market regime changes in the last, I'll say, 2-3 weeks. Put an actual article on it on my blog regarding how the market has changed over the last 4 weeks. And this is the second time market regimes come in and has totally changed, yet again, your bot performance. So we need to get that fixed right away. So do understand that that's going to be a big challenge, but the key thing when it comes to this particular course that I'm speaking of on the Python is to help you build out frameworks so you can quickly build out your own trading platform. Now that I've just come off the machine learning, this is going to be more critical if you are going to start getting into machine learning, try to take advantage of it with what Google's going on with their TensorFlow, the new TensorFlow 2 coming out fairly soon, and now the Google Colab that just brought out about in the last year or so is totally revolutionizing how software development, and not just software development, but specifically algorithmic trading. So it will get easier over the next year or so, but just trying to get yourself in the world of Python would be to your advantage because everything's converging on Python. So just learning how to quickly build out frameworks is really beneficial, no matter where you end up. Back to our mentions here is the course I just talked about. So he's learning a lot. downloading data, basic TA-lib, and we're not talking basic. You're getting over 300 calculations, different indicators. One thing I forgot to mention is when it comes to machine learning, Python, a lot of the retail trading platforms have no capability whatsoever to be able to plug in, talk to something in Python, and be able to take full advantage of a machine learning algorithm or a machine learning framework as popular as TensorFlow or even PyTorch and the other one like scikit-learn. So everything's, as I said, converging into Python for the less technical people as compared to those that pretty well know how to design and implement an operating system, so to speak. So this guy is learning. I'm just not finding where you mentioned what, how, and when to put pairs on the watch list. Now the watch list, if you have not watched, there's two big parts of the system. Is a watch list. I don't have my, actually I could probably maybe bring it up. A watch list is kind of like what your system's watching currently. So in my case, if I bring this up here in Redis, the Redis Desktop Manager, that one doesn't have Redis running. Anyways, it doesn't matter. He's able to manually do everything via CoinMarketCap. I have I'll mention the tips here for top volume. So some tips here for those that want to know some of the, I won't say secret sauce, but some of the useful stuff is CoinMarketCap.com. Usually I would suggest you focus on the top 20. There's a lot of volume in these pairs, and they do quite well. You can see here a lot of these coins have been doing fairly well on the long run. Ethereum, XRP, all these big ones that my system will trade, about let's say 10 of them. So that I can't explain in a full video, how to do it on a watch list. But if you're able to see what you're learning through CoinMarketCap, use the same trading rules with TA-lib, and you should be able to automate it and be able to filter out the negative or the ones that have high whipsaw at that time. So you have the capability to pick out the different pairs on Binance. There's over 400 plus pairs on Binance, the largest exchanges in the world, probably one of the most honest. It says don't be greedy, meet a small percent gain, then rinse and repeat 24 hours, 7 days a week. That's what CoinMarket or cryptocurrency markets give you. You can do this 24 hours. Now, it comes back to what is the problem with algo trading. It's a time to get that to that point. It's to be able to focus and develop it, especially if you're new to programming. A lot of people go through that challenge. I can't explain it as good as you, but I've come so far, not going to give up. And that's the key here. It's always about your inner drive, how hungry you are to achieve this goal. I will not lie to you. To get it working with your live trading is a very big challenge, especially when the markets change. As I said, the regime changes so much. Now it comes back to the watch list. Something I'm missing in the pairs for the watch list. Can you give me a hint where you say it or explain it? I'll do better at that. What I'm going to talk about now is a solution. In here, you're looking at the top. What do I got? Let's say top. We'll focus on the top 25. So out of that, the ones that do well, you're going to trade in either Bitcoin, Ethereum, and as I said, the one pair that you'll trade is XRP. And these are the ones that do fairly well that I do see regularly. Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin. Litecoin has been just, let me just pull up the trading charts just to show you how insane these markets have been going. So as an example, when you get Litecoin, Ethereum, now what I'm about to show you since the beginning of the year in 2019, and everyone's all excited about the recent run-up of Bitcoin, but these are the ones that you should be really excited about because it comes up with TradingView. Today would be nice. Thank you very much. There you go. As you can see here, even from August of last year, it's been a little bit of a down hit, but we've had an amazing run up. This is just in somewhere around here. I turned the bought on, and I've had a really good run up with Litecoin against Ethereum. And you can see right out here, this is what I speak of, things have kind of dropped off. So will the market bounce back? Probably. And we'll be back in business, but it may come back down. We don't know. So let me show you some other pairs here. EOS does well. Now this is another big winner. BNB, Binance Coin. Again, for against BNB against Ethereum. This one's been the absolute stunner that I'm really shocked that people have completely missed since the beginning of the year. And you thought the Litecoin against Ethereum was a big winner. You should see this. So the ones I'm showing you are the ones that all you need to focus on. Even if you do what they call hodling, buy and classic hold, these are good enough to hold on to. Now, does that mean that they'll come back? I don't know. But again, you see the run up here. Up until sometime in April, it's bounced back, but it looks like it's coming back. So who knows? It may stabilize and start to bounce back. We have a nice buy signal, Win, win, win. But now, as I said, we get into EOS. This one crashes and burns all the time. It's on doing well. Tether, don't bother, but it's good to compare against the US dollar. As I mentioned, Tron can do well too, but when you come to Binance, you'll see if you go to Binance.com, I'll just show you here. This is pretty impressive. One thing that drives a lot of it is obviously volume. So your big winners I'm speaking of. But you also notice I've already skipped XRP, Cardano, and Stellar. Can't say they're good or bad coins, but when you look at them, let's say XRP against Bitcoin, just as a simple example. And I want you to remember how this is a fairly smooth chart, but let me just pull up another chart just to show you why my system will skip these coins. Now again, if you're buying and holding, they may work, but if you're doing intraday, these will definitely not be recommended to buy. So if you look at XRP, let's say it gets Bitcoin. Today would be nice, XRP, Bitcoin. Hopefully I'll show you exactly what I'm looking for. Okay, today, please. Anyways, actually you can see the performance has been fairly smooth, but it's been just a steady drop off. Or maybe, what was another one I skipped was, let's say, is this XLM or ADA Cardano? Maybe I could use that as an example. But I'll choose Ethereum. So this will take about half an hour to load, so I'll move on. So when you look at these two coins, they get skipped. I was going to show you Binance.com, but a lot of people may not know this about Binance. There's 4 markets across Binance here, so you have BNB, Binance Coin, Bitcoin, the alt, which is really, well, I'll show you that, USD, which is Tether. When you go under alts, this is where most of the action happens. But the big one that can do well, you can see here, TRX, XRP is the one I'm speaking of. But look at the crazy volume here, 879 million on a 24-hour basis. That's huge. And when you factor in the Bitcoin markets, they're pretty big too. All right, so let's continue here. As my ADA opened up. This one's not so bad, but my system will not trade this for a variety of reasons. But let's go back to our crypto. So when you look at these other pairs, Monero's good as well. I find the private coins, which are Monero Dash and Zcash, can do fairly well. They're pretty consistent, not as much opportunity. Cosmos is a new one. Bitcoin SV is the odd one, but what I don't like about Bitcoin Cash, which can do really well as well, is the naming convention that you'll find over at Binance. Check out the name BCHABC. This is really dumb. And then somewhere, it's not listed, but you could still find uh, Bitcoin Cash or Bitcoin SV. How do I know that? Because I can download it, but I just don't understand the logic here. They don't list it, but Bitcoin SV seems to be still out there on Binance. So that one you can get the rare trade with Bitcoin SV, or whatever they call it on other exchanges. IOTA I never see. Tezos. Ethereum Classic still kind of get some odd change. This one can do really well as well. Ontology, I just got 1 day's worth, so now you see we're starting to move into the top 25. Zcash has been dropping off, and all the other ones. But the ones I've listed are the ones that are typical that you watch. So in terms of the watch list, those are the ones that you watch, and that's all you need to watch is the ones you just mentioned. So I've given you some nice, a nice list there on what can be traded and what not to trade out of this list. So I don't think you get better than that. And you will find some really good performance when you trade only that set. And the ones that I've listed outside of, well, the ones I've listed is as I said, is Tron against XRP. Most all the rest of them are in Ethereum. And then there is pretty well, you'll see it. If you go over to Binance, the number one in the Bitcoin market is this, whatever they call it, Bitcoin Cash. So that's number one. So there you go. Hopefully those secrets are kind of no longer secrets with that. So hopefully with some of this, there's really no problem with algo trading, especially when it comes to crypto. But for most people, it is two things really: lack of drive and lack of time. But when you get things done right, you'll have a nice future and you'll be able to hopefully retire well. That's what we're doing. Hopefully it'll help you out. We shall talk to you later. Have a good day. Thank you for watching. See ya.